All right, so Air Max Day came and went. I actually scooped up a pair of sneakers from Air Max Day from like Kith or just one of the other random sites. I struck out on Nike sneakers, but we have a pair of the Air Max Pre's in this beat up box. Look at this nice little hole on the top of the box. Anyway, we have the shoes right here. It comes in the recycled box, which is kind of nice to see. There's no extra paper or anything like that in the box. Does have a tag that says made with at least 20% recycled content. Not a lot, but 20% is still better than nothing. And here's a look at the shoes. This is the Air Max Pre-Day, and the retail was $130. So let's go ahead and get into this video. What is going on, guys? Hes here. If you guys want to shop on my website that I post all my sneaker deals that I find from Nike and Adidas and Foot Locker, sites like those, check the link in the description and you can go over there and shop. So today we have a look at the Air Max Pre-Day, which released on Air Max Day at the end of March, and I'm finally now getting around to doing a video. Go figure. It's one that didn't get a lot of energy behind it, to be honest, and this is the only colorway that ended up dropping. The retail is $130. It's not like a flagship Air Max by any means, but they did kind of re-engineer this air unit, which I haven't seen before on different shoes. If I'm wrong, leave a comment, let me know what this air unit was on. But it's an interesting looking shoe. Do I think that it's one that people are going to really love and go crazy over? Probably not. I mean, honestly, it's a little bit plain with the upper, and the panels look a little bit odd with the placement. But it is kind of one of those shoes that's kind of supposed to look like a heritage shoe, I believe, and then also have a little bit of futuristic. So like a futuristic retro sort of vibe to it, which I do like when they do that. Maybe it's the color blocking on this one that I'm not really feeling. But it was one of those shoes I was like, yeah, I guess I'll do a video on them if it's like not one that I was like primarily focused on because it didn't have that wow factor that I was looking for. Obviously with like Nike Vapor Max or something like that, it's like a little bit crazier, and I really love what Nike was doing, pushing the envelope on that. And then obviously from the years past, we have the Air Max 270s as well, which has that huge mega butt on the back with the air unit. This very much so reminds you of the 270s, like the overall look, like the silhouette of it looks very 270-ish, but obviously the difference is the air unit is way smaller comparison to this one. But honestly, because of the placement of the air unit in the Pre-Day, you can actually feel the air unit pretty well when you're walking around. A couple words from what Nike said about the Pre-Day. This is the Nike Air Max Pre-Day Liquid Lime colorway. Says the Nike Air Max Pre-Day Liquid Lime, inspired by the revolutionary footwear that helped Nike build its brand on the oval. This new silhouette recalls a throwback track aesthetic while incorporating fresh breakouts that are spearheading the next era of air. Anchored by a reductive design concept, the fast-paced look exposes its air unit in a completely new way, allowing for a compression that creates uniquely soft bounce in the heel. This design also utilizes sustainable materials to ensure that each pair is comprised of at least 20% recycled contents by weight. Remembering the revolution, 1987 saw the birth of the Air Max lineage, showcasing visible air for the first time. What began as an experiment in cushioning soon evolved into an icon on the track and streets over the years. It's been reimagined and retooled, but the heritage always remains the same. There's a lot more detail out there on actually Nike News website, but I'll spare you the details. So to start off, the upper, as I mentioned, kind of reminds you of like a Daybreak. It has a lot of like the tailwind, old school sort of feel to the different panels and stuff on the upper. Black Nike swooshes down the sides of the shoe. This feels like it's fake leather, honestly. There's a felt-like material on the toe of the shoe, and then right under the laces right here where it holds the first lace, that is also felt, but it's not like suede or anything like that. It's obviously synthetic. Then you have a different type of material for the laces as well, a little bit more rugged feeling, and some fused material across both of the sides of the shoe with some like Frankenstein sort of stitching on it. On the back heel section of the shoe, and then these weird little spots right here. Honestly, these things don't look like they serve any purpose. That's the weirdest part of the shoe in my opinion, just these weird little notches here that are kind of not necessary. But those also have a different sort of feel to them. They definitely have a lot of different materials that make up the upper of the shoe. It just, in my mind, it's not very harmonious the way that they come together on the shoe. Like two more examples, you have this cloth material in this like lime green, and then you have a different textured material up around the collar of the shoe. It's just, they're all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7 different types of materials it feels like that they made the shoe, 8 including the back tab, and then 9 including the tongue. So it's just kind of a hodgepodge of stuff, and in my mind it doesn't go together very well, but again, maybe it's just this color blocking that I'm not feeling. The tongue is one of my favorite parts with the overall look of it. However, I will say that This type of tongue usually gets folded over inside of your shoe a lot, which can be a little bit of a nuisance since it's detached all the way down to here instead of having it attached here and then remaining loose on the rest of the way up. So it looks cool though, and I like the fact that it's like raw, like perforation in the middle of the tongue and a couple different layers on there. It looks cool. I think that's my favorite part. You have the old school Nike Air logo on the front as well as on the back of the shoe with this weird little pull tab. It's like just small enough that you can't actually use it, but it kind of looks like part of the Nike swoosh that comes out the back. So I don't know. That part looks kind of cool. It just functionality wise, I don't really think it's functional. I feel like I'm dissing the shoe pretty hard. It just doesn't live up to any expectations that I would have had. But one thing I will say is the air unit, which is probably the focal point that you guys are wanting to see as well. The air unit looks really cool, and the placement of the air unit is kind of nuts. It has like a weird little like bowl shape in the middle of the shoe, and it's raw, and it's just placed in the middle of the midsole, but then with gaps on both sides of the air unit, so it definitely stands out like as a centerpiece. And I have to say, when you try them on, it's actually pretty good on feet too. It's not as ridiculous feeling as like the Air Max 270. That was a little too exaggerated, but this, you could actually feel the air unit when you're stepping. Like, it's pretty good, and it has a lot of flex when you're stepping, and I think the engineering of that is definitely the highlight of the shoe, which is awesome because you can actually like take the top off and then put a different upper on and then have that as a primary feature of the shoe. I think that is something that I really like. But honestly, on feet, this kind of reminds me of like Nike Zoom. Like Nike Zoom Air is like really thick, and when you compress it, it pops back pretty good. This whole like contraption here feels kind of like a big, huge Zoom unit. Like you press down and then it springs back. I like it, and it feels pretty good on feet. On the bottom of the shoe, you could see that the outsole is kind of using some sort of recycled material, which is consistent with what they say here because it uses 20% recycled material. And then on the forefoot of the shoe, you can see there's little white oval spots here. That's actually direct midsole action right there under the feet, and it feels soft and squishy. I don't know what it is. If I had to guess, it would probably be Cushlon or just regular Phylon or something like that, but it does feel pretty good under feet, and it's nice to be able to see that you have some squishy stuff underneath here. All in all, I'd say if you like Air Max sneakers and you like what they offer and just the feel, this one is on the more comfortable side because of this air unit. I really like it. Don't like the upper. I think it lacks a lot of design and just unity, but the air unit is definitely something that is cool and fun to be able to see them create something again just different. And yeah, it's kind of like a nod to the past and also to the future at the same time. So, but if you guys are interested in buying a pair of these, check the link in the description. Probably go over to eBay because I don't know where these are available. I'll try to link them into Nike again as well, but they're not available as of right now. All in all, I'd say I give it maybe a 7 out of 10 if I gave it like a complete rating for a shoe. It's not one that I really love. There's some elements of the shoe that I like, but I'll leave it at that. Anyway, what am I getting right or wrong? Leave a comment in the comment section. Let other people know. This is just my personal opinion. Obviously, you guys have your opinions out there, and maybe there's something really cool about these shoes that I've neglected to mention. If we had to go head-to-head against a pair of Adidas, honestly, I would rather take a pair of Adidas ZX 2K Boosts over these. They're way more squishy and comfortable on feet, and they're kind of like in the same category of futuristic retro sort of things. The ZX 2K Boost is just super comfortable in comparison, but these aren't bad. And again, I'm just waiting for some more colors, more creative colors out there, and maybe they'll revamp the upper as well and just keep that midsole on future models. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching. Have a good rest of the day out there, and hopefully we'll see you back for some more videos on my channel. Peace, guys.